Howdy, insurance fans. My name is Edgar Wagner, and I'm here to interest you in two new pieces of technology. Together, I call it a model sales presentation. I'm especially interested in talking to you agents who are in the Walmart program. You'll recall perhaps that I sent you an email talking about the value of the RX label reader in introducing yourself to your store manager and creating a professional image for yourself such that you might get more leads from that pharmacy manager. I also talked about the RX label reader in connection with introducing yourselves to senior centers, to assisted living facilities, as another way of guiding traffic to your booth. Proactive gestures that you can make in order to create traffic at your booth. This model sales presentation I'm going to talk about starts out with the RX label reader. And my question to you is this. If you are going into a sales presentation, and let's say it's a Medicare Advantage presentation, how do you decide to narrow the selections that you have before you, particularly, let's say, in metropolitan areas where you might have 10, 12 viable plan options, none of which, well, you won't be contracted with all of them, correct? But you might have 5, 6. How do you narrow your choices? Well, some agents might start with network, which is a good idea. I would guess that in most metropolitan areas, the networks are going to be very similar for all the carriers. Some people will start with the health benefits, the MA part of a MAPD, using maximum out of pocket, for example, or doctor copays. The RX label reader is a way for you to start with the Part D aspect of the MAPD. And what better way to educate your client than to let them know immediately what their annual costs are for their drugs. And the RX label reader, here we have a little video for you. The RX label reader will allow you to rank your plans according to annual cost. And from that standpoint, from that point, you then go to our Medicare quote engine where I'm going to show you here in just a second how then you compare your Medicare Advantage plans 1, 2, 3, however many you want, on our Medicare quote engine. So the idea here is that you have a first idea of what the annual costs are going to be for their Part D drugs. And there might be $100 difference, $200, $300, $400 difference between the top 3 plans, let's say. But drug costs are not the exclusive reason why you would choose a plan. There are other types of considerations, including the reputation of the carrier, your experience with them, maximum out of pocket, copays, supplemental services that they might have, the judgment of you, the agent, in other words, that comes into play in selecting a plan when you have this sort of foundational knowledge of the drug costs. So now you've got these 3 plans, let's say, hypothetically, that are your 3 best options in terms of drug cost. The next place you go is to www.gordonmarketing.com, top right-hand corner, you'll see our quote engine. Now, you're going to input your zip code. You're going to input then the age of the person. Click Submit for Medicare Advantage. And then you're going to click on each plan that you want. It'll be highlighted in green. Okay, it'll be highlighted in green. And then up on the left, you will hit Compare. And all 3 plans will come up showing all summary of benefits in one simple, convenient way. Now, the other benefit of this is that at the same time you're comparing these different plans and you're talking about you're talking about PCP copays, specialist copays, inpatient hospital copays, maximum out of pocket, right? At the same time as you come to that point where you're talking about maximum out of pocket, you click up here on the upper right, fill gaps, and automatically you will have a quote now for a hospital indemnity plan, which effectively could reduce the maximum out of pocket maybe by $2,000, $3,000 in a year. Now you're combining one sale into 2 sales. And what better time to do it than AEP when you're not getting paid for a Medicare Advantage plan until January? The hospital indemnity plan will get you paid now. This is my idea for a model sales presentation. There's more to be said when it comes to Medicare supplements. I want to keep this short and sweet and get you interested. Thank you.